Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And this is quite literally 10 seconds ago. This is hot off the press. Breaking news. Now, we know Humza Yousaf is an absolute coward. He will not, suspend Nicola Sturgeon. He refuses to stand up and say anything. He just has no spine whatsoever. He issues an ultimatum about leave the party if you don't want to back Sturgeon. But if nobody does leave the party and they continue to criticise, he'll do nothing. He is spineless. He is weak. He is not a leader. And that is why he has done it again. He has lost his nerve and he is now backing Jenny Gilruth in the ministerial row over her behaviour and breaking of the ministerial code, which she, by any metric, completely did. But he doesn't want to create a bit of a scene. So he's going to let her get away with breaking the rules, as far as he's concerned anyway, because he lacks the ability to be an authority figure and to put his foot down and say, no, actually, Jenny, you broke the rules, you're going to have to pay. Well, of course, because she is, she's one of the special ones. So we'll have a look at this article. I mean, like I say, it is literally breaking news. It is 15:31, and this went up. It's at 15:29, so it's 15:31 now. It's taken me 2 minutes to do the intro. So that's how quick this is. So straight into it. Here goes. So Humza Yousaf bottles it as he backs Jenny Gilruth in ministerial code row. Well, of course he's going to bottle it. To do anything else would mean you'd have a pair hanging down under you. He hasn't got a pair. They're in a jar beside Nicola Sturgeon's bed. He hasn't got a spine. He is a jellyfish. The then Transport Minister vetoed works that would have had an impact on her Mid-Fife and Glenrothes constituency over the festive season. I've covered the story. This is the follow-up now. So she was due to be sort of not impeached is not the word, but basically told off, given a slap on the wrist over what she's done because she has broken the code. But he will not stand there and be any kind of authority figure. So Humza Yousaf has refused to sanction Jenny Gilruth after she intervened to delay rail works that would have impacted her constituency while she was Transport Minister. It has cost millions. Her doing this has cost millions of pounds that could otherwise have been spent elsewhere. But no, it's not good enough for her. She has to break the rules because she's special. Anyway, the First Minister claimed his ally had not broken the ministerial code after she'd been accused by the Tories, when it's quite clear to anyone, even blind people, that she broke the ministerial code. Miss Gilruth, 39, vetoed Network Rail's decarbonisation work between Edinburgh's Haymarket Station and Dalmeny in West Lothian, due to take place for 8 days from Boxing Day 2022. The work would have a knock-on effect on passengers and in her Mid-Fife and Glenrothes constituency. And of course, because, look, it's the festive period, we don't want noise, we don't want this, or people might want to go and visit people on the train. Can you delay it? And so she made sure it was delayed. Doing it at the quiet period is the best time. It is the cheapest time. It is the time when it is the absolute best time to do this. It's the cheapest. Anyway, the decision means the work has still to take place and will likely now impact thousands more passengers every day. The delay is also expected to cost the taxpayer £1 million. Bill her. Send her the bill. Tory leader Douglas Ross formally asked that the First Minister to investigate the matter after raising it in Holyrood on May the 18th. But the SNP leader claimed Miss Gilruth had not broken the code because other constituencies were also affected. Just because other ones were affected does not mean that she broke the code because she's affected her constituency. Humza Yousaf, you really have nothing between your legs, have you? Nothing there is dangling. You are smoother than a Ken doll down there. No spine whatsoever. How do you sit up in that chair? In a letter clearing the now Education Secretary, Mr Yousaf said, I have considered this matter carefully. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You've looked at it and went, if I interfere, I might lose a friend. I've got no one to talk to at lunchtime. That's where you are, you spineless piece of shit. Anyway, He said that the paperwork showed that while Miss Gilruth's constituency was affected, so were many others across Fife, Central Scotland and the East Coast of Scotland, with the likelihood of reduced services between Edinburgh, Dundee, Fife to Edinburgh and up to Perth. So what? She should not have done it. If you needed it delayed, it should have been someone whose constituency was not affected. But she was the Transport Secretary. It's her decision. And therefore, she should not have been doing it. She should have let it go so as not to be seen as interfering. She broke the code. She's got to pay. And if there was a leader worthy of the name, she would. But unfortunately, the SNP don't have a leader worthy of the name. He continued, anyway, there is no evidence to suggest that Miss Gilruth's constituency would have been impacted to a greater degree than any other constituencies. That's immaterial. That has got nothing to do with it. He said, I am therefore satisfied there was no impropriety and that Miss Gilruth was acting entirely legitimately in seeking advice on the network-wide impact of rail works on a major piece of national infrastructure. Okay, it's works that absolutely, positively, definitely have to be done. You can do it in a holiday period when it won't affect many people, or you can do it on a workday when it'll affect everyone and cost more. As Minister of Transport, she should have weighed that up and went, oh yes, that's the best time to do it. She thought of her own constituency, said, screw it, not my bill. Make it her bill. Send her the extra. Send her a bill for £1 million. A Scottish Government spokesman said, blah, 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 lies. Actually, what they said was, the First Minister considered the matter carefully. We know that never happened, and concluded that it does not constitute a breach of the Scottish Ministerial Code. More lies. All they can do is lie and lie and lie again, because that is the SNP way. And so there she is. She's a liar. We can now say that without a doubt. She is a liar, and she definitely broke the code because she knew. She absolutely knew. If she was wearing a Transport Minister's hat on, she said, no, that's the best time. She wasn't. She was wearing her constituency hat, and that is a breach of the Ministerial Code. End of story on that. But what do you expect? He can't get rid of her. She's the Education Secretary. So, education in Scotland, doing great, isn't it? But now, if he gets rid of her, then that's another minister gone. He's running out. She left Transport. The new guy lasted less than 2 months. He's gone. They've just put in a woman who hasn't got a clue, who was fired from the last job. They just can't keep anyone in Transport. And they daren't put her anywhere else. They leave her with Education because that's already so far down the toilet, it can't get any worse. It really is a government by the worst kind of people, isn't it? A government of morons. Anyway, I'm coming up. What do you have to do within the confines of the SNP or the Scottish Government to actually get punished for your actions? Because it seems that while Humza Yousaf's in charge, you can more or less get away with anything you like. There is no limit to the impropriety you can do. He hasn't got the capability of punishing you. He hasn't got the spine. He hasn't got the cojones. The man is impotent. He is not a leader. He is a placeholder until a leader comes along. You sit in the big chair for now, Humza. Here's some colouring books and some crayons. You pass the time. We'll wait for someone who's capable of doing the job come along. Well, that won't happen until the next election, of course, but hey-ho, it is a sad set of affairs, isn't it? It's a sad way to run a country. It's a terrible way to run a country. But hey, it's what you got. And this is what happens when you let people like this have power. There should be a minimum IQ test for people who want to stand in elections and make it better than room temperature. Because I've just done 2 stories on the trot. One about a woman who's as thick as Champ, and one about a man with no testicles. What a government. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, and definitely share the video. And definitely do subscribe if you're one of the many people who watch and have not subscribed. We get a lot of people return viewing. We get all the figures, we know. We get a lot of people return view. They haven't hit the subscribe button. Now's an excellent time. Anyway, until next time, stay safe, stay well, always do the nasty work when you're on holiday, and goodbye.